Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Time to Roll's Campaign 1. This is episode 58. Unfortunately, we had to take a 1 week break in between another. We've had to do two 1 week. We've only streamed for 2 weeks this month, so within the last 4 weeks, so it's a little rough. I got really sick last weekend, and I just couldn't keep my head up. So that's where we're at with that. Sorry about that, but that's unavoidable. Few notes going on tonight, and then we will get going. So first and foremost, Squirtle. I think I mentioned this last time we streamed. Squirtle will be stepping aside from playing into perpetuity. I don't know when he's going to be available to hop in and play again. Maybe never. But that's it is what it is. And then tonight we are missing Nate. He had some last second things he had to take care of, and life happens. So here we are. If you want to go check out the podcast, we're on every single major podcast form out there. So check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. We're on all of that. Also, if you'd like to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, it's slowly growing, and I'm trying to post more and more videos every single week. I wasn't able to last week because, again, sick. But we'll see. We'll see how many videos I can get out this week. Hopefully more than one, but we'll see. So if you want to go check us out there, links will be available in any media or a medium that you're watching in. If you go check in the description, it should be down there. So, anyways, let's hop right into it. We have a brief little recap to go over, and then we're gonna see what these guys want to do going forward. So let's do this shit. That one. That's right.
Fireworks.
So I can't figure this account out. It's Sugar Daddy 67.
Yeah, but then
Do
you
I
have
put
to sign
my
in, and then you
Yeah,
have to give
I'm-
money to the sugar babies.
no?
Literally.
But how can I start recording?
If you're the sugar daddy, you're the one giving people money. You want to be a sugar baby.
Oh, so I'm logged into the wrong side of this.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, why did I put nudes up on?
That I don't fucking know, man. Did it ask you for nudes?
Yeah.
Todd, are you being blackmailed right now?
Maybe.
Happens to the best of us.
Anyways, D&D.
Oh shit!
yeah.
Were you? Did that go over?
Dungeons and Daddies?
Oh my god.
Sugar daddies?
Listen,
Mom, Dad, if you're watching, yeah.
Oh, my parents don't know about this stream. I will never let them know about this stream.
oh,
Someone let them know.
No.
Bingo.
There's not
He doesn't
zero
know
chance
the
that my mom
parents.
is watching right now, so
Ew.
Bingo, go get them.
Actually, my
Can't wait to
dad,
meet your mom eventually one day, maybe.
my parents just dropped their charter and they're doing YouTube TV, and so I was over there and showed him how to get onto YouTube regular, and he watched the episode of me, which led to the episode that we're about to watch.
oh yeah, that was okay. We're gonna get into that because it was 2 weeks ago at this point, and some of you were semi predisposed, so we will go over that.
I
So
wasn't that drunk, was I?
no, I'm pretty sure Austin just literally wasn't here,
No,
Yeah,
I'm,
Austin wasn't here.
I'm bullshitting.
and you
It's
were.
It's
I
been
mean,
2 weeks.
you were drinking though. Bingo. Let's be. You
I was.
were partaking a little bit, yeah.
But the difference is, you gotta count how many glasses of bourbon I have as opposed to.
Fair.
Hey, what are we drinking today?
Actually, I guess
Shiz.
technically this is a whiskey. but
Alrighty. A little bit of recap, and then we will hop right into it because we got a little sidetracked last session. Just a tad. And
Damn it, Thaddeus.
just yeah. Anyways, so last we left off, you, the rat bastards, decided to take a shortcut via a teleportation spell from Raoul, the shopkeep, that just happened to be good friends with Elka's uncles. And after teleporting to the small town of Woodhurst, all of you decided to gather information, stock up on supplies, and try to figure out what the next best place would be to go. After a little bit of digging and a little bit of scaring of children, Thaddeus and Ori, as well as Elka, and honestly just your entire group, decided that it would be best to go and try to find this orphanage and pay your respects, which brought you to the Woodhurst orphanage, where you sat down and met with a few people, and started talking to the kids. Some of them you were given, some of them you gave weapons for some reason. Some of Vivra was giving all the kids platinum, one platinum apiece. And then all of a sudden a familiar face showed up to particularly Beep and Ori and Zane. A young man.
And Thaddeus.
Well, yeah, you just stole the dagger. You didn't really.
we established that everybody was there except for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All of you notice a young man, with a familiar face from a familiar face from early on in your journey. A young man whose family was brutally murdered at the hands of an enraged Ori back in episode 2, and as a bit of a makeup, at least in Thaddeus's mind, for destroying his father's dagger that he took, Thaddeus decided that it would be best to replace the dagger and give it to the child, just to try to pawn off a, make amends. Make amends is the best way to describe it. Unfortunately, Thaddeus could not remember where he had acquired that dagger, and promptly tried to give it to the child. As he gave it to the child, you watched as this young man fell into a catatonic state, Zane catching him before his head hit the ground, and a shadowy visage of Torben von Aurelius popped out of the dagger. All of a sudden, Thaddeus, your memory shoots back to when you were in Torben's castle at an altar, and you decide to randomly pick up a dagger. And then you decide to give that dagger to a child. So, we left off with Torben, at least the visage of Torben, casting a meteor swarm, leveling pretty much this entire city block, almost knocking out a few of you and almost killing some of you. Luckily, the matron of the orphanage, who I didn't write down her name because it was a random name generation, Maven, I think, something like that. I know it started with an M, but she was able to protect the kids with a ring of invulnerability, or a ring of a spear of invulnerability. So all the children are safe, as well as Libra. You see the dust settling. The current block is on fire and in ruin. You hear screaming and moaning, and you smell the very distinct aroma of burning flesh and just blood. So just to give you a little, I guess using this map as an example, essentially every single house within pretty much you guys. So this I mean, we're using this as the orphanage. This house, and this house, as well as pretty much anything on the street, is just an absolute ruin currently. So, red bastards. Waking, kind of coming back to, dazed and confused, realizing what had just happened. What do you guys want to do in this chaos?
Okay, so we're backtracking
A little bit.
Little
Backtracking. So
Okay.
I knew what you guys had done with the money. I had that written down, but so what do you guys want to do? Alara, you were just woken up via a cure wounds spell because you had fallen unconscious. And I believe Beep was close to unconsciousness, but he was brought back up by Alan. Chaos is reigning. The matron of the orphanage is kind of like looking around disheveled.
If I can get out of the sphere, and if all of our party members are all right, I'm going to drop a. Let's see. I have to do math now. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to drop a 5th level create water.
Okay.
To make it rain on the as many of the flaming houses as I can.
Okay.
Or as much extinguish as many of the flames as I can, as much of the flames.
5th level. How many square? I think it's square feet, right?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. Spread out in a blanket. It'd be enough to get rid of the fire on the orphanage. 30 square feet is
30-foot cube.
Oh, it's a 30-foot cube. Okay. All right. That's a little different.
Wait a second. I math that wrong.
Because that's a 30-foot.
At first level, 30-foot cube.
Oh, okay, extend.
Didn't do 5th, so 30, 35, 40, 45, 50-foot cube.
50-foot cube. So centering it on.
I'm centering it wherever I can make, do the most good.
Right. I got you. So half the orphanage is just absolutely demolished. So if you center it, I mean that gets a good portion right here where I'm.
Cool. Done.
Yeah. So you are
raining on everybody.
You're able to douse the flames on a majority of the houses that were affected. However, it is now creating a situation where it's creating a situation where there's definitely either dead bodies or quickly becoming deceased people that are now buried under, no longer burning, but are now quite wet. So with your perception, Vlivra, and just your natural ability to smell and hear and see, looking about, you can easily tell that in this house. Wait, I'm in the wrong clicker. There we go. That one. In this house alone is completely turned to rubble. You can tell that there's probably about 5, 6 people that are buried under the rubble, and just from who's making noise and from hearing groans, you can tell from there. It's a little hard to hear from this home because it's partially collapsed, and this home wasn't as affected by the meteor shower, but it has been doused with the flames. You can visibly see a woman who's like looking out the window, shocked, out of this house right here on the bottom floor.
Okay. Can I tell which house has the highest concentration of living people?
For that, I'm gonna say make a perception check.
Can I have Beep do the same because I have an idea?
Elka would like to make a perception check to see which house might have gotten the most damage and might need, like some strength to get his stuff out of the way.
It's very clearly, without even making a perception check, very clearly you could tell this home and the orphanage were the most affected. Because he centered the meteor swarm, which it's a 90-foot sphere, so he centered it pretty much on all of you and on himself. So the people
Right.
closest to the destruction were definitely this building and the orphanage.
Okay. I'd like to start. If there's any rubble and stuff, she's gonna start trying to clear that out.
Make a strength check.
I'm gonna yell at Ori to do the same.
Ori will also run over and start helping. I have to remember that he isn't here, so
19.
19. Okay.
What happened to the kid? They
He's
gave the-
still currently catatonic on the ground. Zane is like doing.
I
Oh, you
grabbed
grab.
the-
Yeah, so he's on the ground sitting next to Vuivra, just kind of laid out, eyes rolled in the back of his head, body stiff.
Were we able to perceive which house has the most like life?
With that 11 for Vuivra, a little bit too chaotic where you're standing. However, Beep, you're on the outside of. Let me see here. So this, let me go ahead and get rid of this drawing, because Alan would drop the wall of stone. Okay, and then Ori's strength is obnoxious. By the way, it was an athletics check, not a strength check. So add your proficiency bonus on that if you can, Elka.
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay, so 19. What is Ori's? Ori's just it's fucking ridiculous, I think. Athletics is. Oh, yeah. Ori rolled a 25. So you and Ori start clearing rubble. Beep, you could very clearly tell that out of living people, this house has the most living people in it. Just like hearing and trying to look and trying to use your feline eyes, you can tell that there's two people in this building that are, from what you can see looking out the window, mostly unaffected. Because it was centered here. Actually, I want to check meteor swarm because I can't remember if it's 90 or if it's.
I thought it was 40.
Maybe it is.
Am I thinking?
Is it 90
incorrect?
diameter?
That's why I want to. I think maybe I'm completely. It's a 40-foot radius, so.
Okay, so then it's 80 diameter.
80 diameter, so it centered on here. Yeah, so this house, just for the nature of the spell, which he was actually right here. For the nature of the spell, this house just got set on fire, and the splash of water that we were created majorly put it out. You see the people inside the house that was just primarily set on fire, specifically this one, kind of look more shell-shocked than anything.
Is there still any prevalent flames or like maybe
It
scalding?
mostly has been doused by the level 5 spell, Create Water. But out of all the living people, this house is pretty much concaved, as well as this one. When you look at this house, only half of it is like fallen in. So you start to look, and you do see an arm sticking out of the rubble, and it's moving, like trying to grab the rock that is on top of it.
Could I theoretically use Leoman's tiny hut and use it kind of like as a pass-through for people, like a safe pass-through?
If
I think
you cleared the rubble, so the problem is Lehman's tiny hut doesn't allow anything unwanted to pass through. However, it doesn't just like get rid of the rubble whenever you cast it. The rubble's still going to be there. So
Oh yeah, cast time. I forgot about cast time too.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
it's
Right.
10-minute cast time, right? So
Okay.
if you had like a sphere of invulnerability or something like that, then that may that would still cause harm because it doesn't like block. It blocks the rubble, but it blocks the damage. But it's kind of a weird thing. Larian has skewed that spell in my mind because Larian allows the shit to pass through it. It just doesn't do damage. But I think in 5e terms, nothing can get into it.
Nothing not invited. I think you're right.
Yeah. So as you're clearing the rubble, Alka and Ori, we'll get back to you real quick. You immediately find a young woman, probably in her early 20s, crushed by the weight of the house. She's no longer breathing. As you continue to grab and throw rocks as best you can, you do eventually find what looks to be a little section of house. It was probably the stairs. That isn't as caved in, and you do hear a little bit of whimpering coming from that little section. It's almost like a bubble inside the house, of just surrounded by rubble. And you're starting to dig out, and you hear underneath the in the commotion, you hear, "Help, please."
All right, I'm gonna start going for that.
Okay. As you clear with a 19, you're able to definitely with Ori's help, you're able to clear, and eventually you do find a young boy who's no older than 6 that is just curled up in the fetal position, just
Man,
like
he lives in a prime location. He barely has to move
so.
because he's an orphan now. That's a joke.
I'm gonna pick him up and carry him over to the orphanage and say, "Here's another one."
Jesus Christ, you guys. Did I write? Hold on, let me see if I wrote down that woman's name. So the one place I did not check.
I'm helping in any way I can, and if I see anybody like on the brink of death, I have 2 not vials.
I mean, we have the revivify things, right?
You have quite a few ways to revivify people, and it is within the dust is settling. It's within the 10-minute or 1 minute. Is it 1 minute for revivify or 10 minutes?
1
minute.
It's
if Alan will. Well, we're gonna see if a minute has passed because this is all chaotic, and I know that. Okay, Alan would perceive that time is of the essence, and I need to grab his character sheet. Oh my gosh. The lag of Roll20.
Yeah, if it seems like... Yeah, if I can't tell where anything is, or any live people are, I have a shitload of little satchels of diamonds on my person in various places.
Yep.
I'm going to...
Okay, he does know that spell. Good.
Start handing them to Alan, and just be like, for revivify.
Okay.
All right. I have 2 jars of that water from inside the tree of life.
Okay, they act as healing potions. Yes.
So if there's anybody that is like that, I can basically force this down their throat, open their mouth and then drip it into their mouth, so I can get them back to breathing.
Ori will grab the woman that is very clearly deceased, and he'll just lay her out, and Ori looks a little pissy. If that, I mean, he looks generally fairly angry to start with after combat, but he just looks kind of pissed. And you don't really know why he's pissed, but he grabs the woman. He's actually quite delicate with her and puts her down. And he'll just look at Alan and say, "Can you do anything?" I can't do Nate's deep voice. That's but
Can you do anything?
yeah. And Alan will walk up, and he, instead of casting Revivify, he's going to cast Gentle Repose. Because he has that spell. He'll cast Gentle Repose, which does prolong the amount of time. Basically, what it does is you touch a corpse or other remains for the duration. The target is protected from decay and can't become undead. So it essentially under the influence of the spell, the dead extends the time limit on raising the target from the dead. I'm glad I gave him Magic Initiate for that. Okay, so he'll cast Gentle Repose and just kind of nod at you, Weavra. And he will then... I need to check. Can he turn into a crit? Okay, yeah, he is going to wild shape. Alan will. Once he realizes what's going on. And he's gonna wild shape into a giant ape.
Okay. If he's doing that, then I'm gonna take the Revivify components back, and I will handle revivifying wherever possible or necessary.
Okay. So he kind of looks at the woman, and he's just gonna start grabbing rubble and just start chucking it. And look at Ori, and Ori's also gonna do the same. Ori will roll another strength check. That's a natural 20 for Ori. And for Alan, that is it's an 18 plus. For athletics, does it get boost in athletics? It does, plus 9. So 27. Okay, so a 34 for Ori and a 27 for Alan, and they're gonna start. Ori will look at you, Alka, and just say, you grab them as I lift.
Got it.
So they're going to start lifting. The little boy will run out and immediately look at the woman on the ground and just go, "Sissy." And just kind of like kneel down next to her. He looks fairly unharmed, the little boy.
Why would you be calling her a sissy? That's not nice.
A sister.
I'm gonna smack the little boy.
I'm gonna smack fucking Thaddeus.
Roll an attack.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
That little boy has 1 HP, so enjoy. Okay.
I rolled an 18 plus whatever to hit. Open, smack you.
Oh well,
I'm gonna look.
are you
look in my
attempting to
bag for
do
more daggers?
Are you attempting to do more damage? Are you attempting to do damage on him?
On Thaddeus, I mean, always.
You have unarmed strike as a fighter.
Oh.
I only
Maybe
have.
I shouldn't.
No, don't, because I have limited. You can see I'm pretty bloodied.
Fine, I'm gonna flick him in the face. I'm gonna hop up and flick him in the face.
You take no damage as you get flicked in the forehead.
Ready? I guess my sense of humor is bad.
You start digging into the building along with the help of Ori and Alan in his giant ape form. And eventually you do find a man in his late 40s, mid to late 40s, long beard. He's barely alive. He is impaled by a piece of lumber that has gone basically from his, it looks like it looks like he is bent down, kind of in a half fetal position, but his elbows are on the ground, his knees are on the ground, and he's like slowly breathing, and he's still conscious slightly. You look underneath him, and there is a little girl, a infant, that is on the ground, still alive, covered in soot. Alan immediately grabs all the rubble around him and throws it and just gets it out of the way. Ori follows after. The man is not doing great.
I'm gonna take one of the jars of the river water and basically go up to the man and he'll hold it up and so he can drink it.
Okay. He cannot focus on drinking currently because even if he were to drink it, it wouldn't find purchase with his stomach because the piece of lumber is cutting off basically his entire airway, and his diet is basically his esophagus.
Okay. I'm going to grab the
Call for
lumber
Weebra.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm gonna run
Oh.
over there.
and then
And,
pour water all
Now, if you wanted to,
over.
if you wanted to apply the water to the wound, you could.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that and then see if I can remove the item
Make
because they didn't have 911 back then.
make an athletics check then, Thaddeus.
Athletics.
You're attempting to pull essentially a 2x4 out of someone's chest. So
As you do.
does completely separate note. Does trash run tomorrow because it's Indigenous Peoples Day? I think not.
Probably
It's a federal holiday, so I assume not.
check your check your local trash company and
Check your local trash company to see if trash is being picked up tomorrow. 10 athletics. It's hard, Thaddeus. It's your number.
Get me on here.
Alan will
Yeah,
Alan will grab it and just go. He will give it a tug with an athletics check. That's a natural 20. Let's see if he does damage to the guy for how fast he's ripping it out as a giant ape.
And I'm pouring water as he's pulling
yeah.
it.
On the bright side, Alan is gentle, as gentle as a giant ape could be. He grabs it and just kind of rips it out of his chest like a toothpick. He rolled a 19 on his athletics check.
Doing everything against IRL, what I would really do. I'm going to be Thaddeus is taking the water and pouring it over the open hole to try to heal it.
Okay, you start to pour, and you do watch the inside of his wound start to close and stop bleeding. However, he still has a hole in his back. The water was enough to heal him to the point where he is not dying yet, which I believe that water is 1d10.
More than that.
No, it was...
It healed me all the way from like half.
Yes, but you bathed in it, that's why. You took vials of it, which I said were...
Well, these aren't vials. These are jugs.
Oh. Hold on, let me look my notes, because
I took bottles of it.
That's what it was. Okay, you took jugs. Oh, okay. It's the equivalent to 8d10 healing. So actually are you pouring the whole jug on him?
Yeah.
Okay, he is completely healed. Weaver, you get there and you see him like take a deep breath, and he just looks down at his baby, who is now erupted into crying because there's a giant ape standing over her, and a minotaur who's fiercely in a rage, just ripping as much rubble as he can out of the way. And at this point, Ori's about this far into the house. Alan will kind of like just walk out of the room the best he can as a giant ape, because he's considered a gargantuan. I think that's his size. Maybe he's huge. I think that's gargantuan. Okay. Oh, he's a huge beast. Okay. He will then start just clearing out rubble, and he finds no one on this wing of the house. Ori is mad bulling it through the house, attempting to find anybody he can. Ori finds with a 14 on the dice, that's a 28. Ori eventually makes it to a back room where he does find two other individuals. An elderly woman who is probably in her 80s, and a little halfling man, probably in his 20s. It's hard to tell with halflings, but you guess early 20s to mid 20s, who are both crushed and deceased.
The lady that's 80, she lived a good life. Move on. It's called triage.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Unless she's an elf.
Ori will be like, Alan. And Alan will walk over the best he can as a huge ape. Which granted is kind of like, it's like half covered. So the house is like half covered and half not covered. And you definitely tell that this at one point was a 2-leveled house. But Alan will walk over and see the woman, see the man, and he will drop his ape form, and he will also cast Gentle Repose on both of them. Alan will pick up the halfling because he's way far less stronger than Ori in his normal state. Which actually he needs to roll a strength check in order to carry, which he makes. And Ori will grab the woman and start to walk out. Alan will look at all of you. I think this is it in the house, and he'll look at the man. Anybody else in the house other than these folks? And the man will be like, no, that's all of them. Oh my God, Mom. And he'll like walk up to his the elderly woman who is unfortunately deceased, and he'll just kind of like put his hand on hers and just kind of nod at Alan, and he will just kind of look a little defeated, but he's hanging on to his baby the best he can. And he will walk out. The man will follow Ori and all of you walk out of the house and see the woman laid out on the ground, and he'll just kind of nod and say,
Okay, I have one more full jug of that water.
if you're attempting to pour it on dead people, I'm just going to say that it will not work.
Okay, I thought he did a spell that would keep her from dying.
It
Going
keeps
to
her...
the next level of death.
No, it keeps her body from decomposing to the point where you can't cast a spell, a resurrection spell on her. So Alan will walk up and he will grab a fairly large chunk of diamond out of his pouch, and he will squeeze it, and he's going to cast. He will cast Revivify on the woman.
Is there another?
There's a baby that is in the older man's hand, who you perceive as the father of the house.
Right.
There's the young child that's kneeled down, sitting next to the woman, the young woman, and then there's the elderly woman and the halfling. So that's 6 people that you were all able to find.
I mean, is there another deceased person first? And second question, Alan pulled his own diamond. He did not use one that I gave him.
Correct.
Okay.
There's 3 dead in total. There's the young woman who was pulled out by Ori and Elka at first glance, and then there's the elderly woman and the halfling that are both deceased. Alan will cast Revivify using up that 1 diamond.
I will use one on the halfling.
Who did I heal with the first jug?
That would be the
The
See,
older man, like the dad.
the father of the house who's just holding the baby.
Okay.
And okay, so you're casting Revivify on the halfling, you said? Okay. Okay. All of you gather around, and you notice their chests raise up as the diamond is placed on both of like in the center of their body, and a warm light spreads around these two bodies, and it slowly you start to see color coming back into both of their faces as both of them are successfully brought back from death. They are quite hurt still. At least, well, actually, Revivify does heal up any life-threatening injuries, but they are still cut up and not looking great.
Probably a little traumatized.
A little traumatized.
Just a little bit.
Alan will then walk up to the elderly woman, and just kind of sigh. I think her body is so torn up as an elderly lady. I hope this will work. And he will grab another diamond out of his pouch, and he will cast Revivify on the older woman. He goes to place the diamond down, and just like the other two, you feel a warm radiating light coming down from the heavens, and as it comes down, you do notice, and with Vivra and Alan, these spells are slightly different. For Alan, which if you want to describe how your Revivify would work, Vivra, Alan, you notice vines and flowers start to pierce up out of the cobblestone and wrap themselves, embracing the body of both of these people, and you do notice a little glimpse of like a warm radiating light coming down as the spell takes hold, and the flowers like start to glow like this goldish same light, and then they sink into the body and then wilt away.
For Vivra, for Revivify specifically, he all of Weaver's magic is essentially fire-based, even the magic that is not fire-based, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He creates a small flame. You essentially produces flame in his hands, and kind of presses it down on into the person through the diamonds, and the diamonds refract the light, and there's all sorts of pretty colors and stuff. And as the kind of flame presses through the diamonds and the flame compress into the chest, and the spell takes hold that way.
So what you're telling me is that your Revivify is a rave.
Just about.
Yeah. Thick. Okay. So these three people come back to life, and immediately the little boy that was sitting down next to what you assume is a sister just jumps into her arms. The elderly woman kind of like opens her eyes, looks around, and looks at her son, and just, well, I thought for sure I'd be kicking the old bucket today, but it looks like I'm alive. Cool. And she'll like look up at Alan. You're a kind man. And she'll like pat him on the face. The halfling will wake up and just kind of look wide-eyed, shell-shocked, and look at you, look at everybody. I'm alive. I'm alive. And then he'll pass out from shock. And then he'll pass out from shock.
Okay, I'm gonna put his head like gently back down on the cobblestones, and then I'm immediately leaving in search of the next person to heal or revivify.
Okay.
if Beep is checking the other house, I'm gonna go follow him up immediately.
Yeah.
Beep.
Yeah, I'm having Beep check.
Okay, Beep. And I'll take your 25 perception from the last check. You look through, the house is collapsed. However, you do hear people talking on the inside. You hear 3 people. All of them sound moderately concerned. They also sound like, from what little you could pick up, is, damn it, I thought we got away from hellfire and destruction. No. And so Ori will walk over and be like, "Hey, we're clearing this one too, right?" And you'll
And
start.
Elka is, following behind.
And Alan will. Instead of Alan will not do anything. He will wander over to the young man who is catatonic and start attempting to diagnose the best he can with him. So you eventually clear your way through. Ori will have to roll a strength check. Elka also roll a strength check or athletics.
Athletics? I mean, it's the same thing, so.
If I'm helping Ori, would I roll strength or athletic?
Are you attempting to clear rubble with Ori?
Yeah.
Roll an athletics check.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
20. Dirty 20.
And Ori rolled a 26. So, Elka, you're kind of you've fallen into the role of being the person that grabs people if you find them. And not so much the fact that you can't lift the rubble yourself, however, with the overpowering force that is Ori on a mission, you're just kind of like, okay, you can do your job. Like, it's like not wanting to get in the way of your boss who's pissed off, kind of feeling.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But Ori does clear the way, and Ori just kind of looks and goes, "Motherfucker." In front of you, you 4, you know some familiar race of people from a few weeks back, I'd say about a month now back. You see 3 individuals all covered in soot and dust. They're reptilian. They have short arms.
Oh.
And they look to be like weird reptilian, like dinosaur-like creatures.
Short arm gang.
Oh, Jesus.
Standing in front of you are 3 members, not known to you, but 3 members of what you presume is the short arm gang from Artemis, just kind of like chilling there, just like, son of a bitch. And they look at all of you wide-eyed.
I'm just gonna have Beep wave back like he doesn't care.
Yeah, like-
He's gonna wave friendly.
And he's gonna, like, one of them will wave. Thank you. I thought we were trapped in here.
Beep.
Oh, well, thank you. And all 3 of them will walk up and they will go to hand Ori like 10 gold, and Ori will stop them. And he'll be like, "Hey, do I know you from anywhere?" And they'll be like, "Nope." And Ori will be like, "Oh, okay." And he'll let them go. He rolled a natural 1 on his insight check.
Do they walk past me?
They're walking past all of you. Yeah, if you want to do anything to the 3, you can.
I'll
Beep-
stop them.
Beep does not care.
Yeah, Weaver's too preoccupied with everything
I rolled a
else.
15 on an insight check, but
Oh,
At
yeah.
this point- I feel like Elka would just be like, it's probably best to just focus on this one thing right now.
Okay. Or anything else doing anything? Zane, you're going to stop him?
I want to look them over quick.
Okay.
Just let the T-Rex bastards move on.
Anything you're attempting to look into with them?
If they look like they'd be part of the gang.
Make a perception check.
got it, brother. Perception's not my forte, so we'll see what happens here. No.
No. Hard to tell. They're definitely not wearing the same garb as the gang were back in Artemis. But you've only encountered people of that race in that one spot at one time, and you've never seen people quite like them other than in that one moment. So with the four, you can't tell just based off of looking them over if they are part of the gang. However, based off of your history with the gang, it's like a 50-50 guess for you.
You all wouldn't be happen to be in the short arm gang, would you?
What? No. Short arm gang. I mean, we do have short arms, but I've never heard of the short arm gang.
I definitely noticed that stutter on my insight check.
Okay, go ahead. He's lying. He rolled a 3 for deception. So,
How unfortunate for you to say such a thing to me. I'm going to swing.
roll an attack.
Oh no. We just saved their lives.
Elga's gonna like
19.
hear
Oh, no,
what's going
yeah.
on and turn around.
If I catch that, I'm casting Hold Person before he can actually attack.
I'm gonna say, what would Weaver be actively looking for? Would he be looking for more people to save, or would he be paying attention to what Zane's doing?
Oh, fuck. Looking for more people to save.
Then
so-
I'm gonna say then that would not happen. No.
Fair.
Zane, you punch the fuck out of him. Roll for damage.
Let me just double check my die on it quick. That's the... Not that one, sorry. 1 sec. My dice is stuck. Okay, there we go. That's a solid 13 points of thunder damage.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, you punch into him. He's like, "What the fuck, man?"
You're part of the short arm gang.
Okay, yes, we were. We escaped once Artemis went down. We came here to live a better life. And he'll put his little short arms out. I got no weapons on me except for the dagger that's on my left hip. I'm not here to fight.
I'm gonna take his dagger.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
What is my side?
Be going against his acrobatics because he definitely doesn't want you to disarm him.
19.
He will, as you go to grab his dagger, he's like, "I need that. Things are dangerous around here," and he'll dodge your attempt.
I'll add 5 spots of genius.
So that's what, 24?
25. 24, yeah.
24. He still beats you. He rolled 25.
Shit. Okay. Well, those are the track.
I'm gonna have Beep come up and just do cure wounds on the short arm person,
Okay.
and he's just gonna look at Zane and try to persuade him by just doing beep 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 and just making all these gestures like just let him go.
Okay. Zane, are you attempting to, or is your whole goal to kill these guys or go against these guys?
Not
Like right
particularly.
now, I want to persuade him to not fight them.
Okay, roll a persuasion check, and Zane, if you want to resist, you're gonna have to roll a. I'm gonna say roll a. I don't know how to. Wisdom,
check
yeah,
if it was me.
yeah. I'd say
Wisdom save.
no. But you're not really saving against anything. You're just
Well, yeah, true.
so just roll a wisdom check. Yeah,
I'm sure people beat that 12.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Beep
feel
rolled a 6 and beat that 12.
you feel moderately persuaded by Beep walking up and curing wounds. Which, if you want to roll,
Oh
Cure
yeah, let me
wounds.
do that real quick. I'll
uh,
just do it at level 1.
I assume so.
11.
11. Okay, he's mostly healed. He'll just go, thank you, sir. Listen, I don't know what the gang ever did to you. I don't know if they ever, harmed you in any way. If they did, I'm sorry. We were just grunts. When Artemis got attacked, we ran. And we haven't been a part of the gang since. We haven't been in contact. We're just here to live our lives. Well, we were, until whatever the fuck just happened there.
That would be my fault.
Oh,
Do you
dang.
say
Well,
do you say that out loud?
That would be my dumbass.
Yeah, but I use Floyd's voice. That would be my fault.
He shoots you in the face. No. He's not. They don't have their, at least currently don't have their signature guns on them. Listen, we don't want any trouble, and I apologize on behalf of any misdeeds I've ever done. We're not here to do any more. This is a nice town. Well, it was until whatever the fuck just happened.
All right. Well, what I need you three to do is give half of everything you have as coin to this young lady who's running the orphanage because she's going to need it. And we won't kill you.
Roll persuasion check or intimidation check, whichever one you want.
Can I also have Beep? Can I alternatively have Beep try to persuade them?
He'll be like, "Yeah, we'll help whatever way we can. She's been very nice to us.
Huh.
But money isn't exactly we don't got a lot of it."
For shits and giggles, can I give Thaddeus advantage?
I mean, he rolled a natural 2 on his wisdom check to try.
Still.
I mean, yeah, if you want to, yeah. Thaddeus,
'Cause-
yeah, roll
yeah.
advantage on Thaddeus. Just roll one more time. Yeah, same
Fine.
thing. Yeah,
I,
We'll
I
help
want you to
whichever-
help her with whatever she needs help
of
right
course.
now.
I think all of our buildings are destroyed. I was going to inform the guard. That's
I
where
don't
I was
care.
going.
Talk to this lady, find out what she needs, and you help her.
He swallows hard. Yes, sir. And they will, all three of them, run over and start peeking their heads in. Hi, are you okay, madam, sister? Are you okay? And Alan will be
Tell
like,
them Thaddeus sent you.
Alan will see them and just go, shh, I'm focusing. And Alan is going to attempt to cast Greater Restoration on this guy at 9th level.
On the kid?
Yeah, on the kid. He has 1 9th level spell slot, so he's going to attempt it.
There's no higher level cast for Greater Restoration, so
There is on curses and if the spell says so.
that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the spell right now.
No. I'm saying there are certain spells that state that you need to cast Greater Restoration at a certain level in order to lift it.
Gotcha.
So Alan will attempt it. And he will fail.
Rip.
How does Alan fail?
And he's
run by the DM.
and the DM's
It's run by
and the DM's ran by DM's ran by dice. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Alan will just
fix
kind of
my fuck up.
Alan will just kind of
maybe this will teach you to think before you act.
Alan will just look down. Ma'am, I hate to impose, and I know that your current living situation isn't ideal. This young man, I can just tell just by looking at him, he's got a lot of things going on in his life, and he needs to be back and fixed. But I know we can't take him with us. Is there any way that you can take him home or keep him here, or does he have any family? And the sister will be like, Yeah, well, he has family. His sister lives in town, and they're with a foster family. I can take him home. Well, I appreciate it. We'll do everything we can to help you out. And at this point, if you want to throw the gold at her, we'll
Yeah.
say you did.
I would have essentially handed it in a couple of separate I don't remember which kids that I had given the one platinum allowance to, but I would have separated the remaining number out
right.
and
Okay.
said, give these to the individual children and the rest is for you.
Okay. So Alan will do that. He's like, well, least I can do is see if we can do something about getting you at the very least a structure, and he will. I think this is the right spell. So 24 hours. Yeah, that works. He will cast Druid Grove. It's a 90-foot cube. In a 90-foot cube, you cast the spell the same area every day for a year. The spell lasts until dispelled. Creates the following effects within the area. When you cast the spell, you can specify creatures as friends who are immune to the effects, which he will do. The entire awarded area radiates magic. A dispel magic cast on the area, if successful, removes only one of the following effects, not the entire area. The spellcaster chooses respect to end. And he will cast. And the effects that he does just all the effects, or you have to choose which effects? Okay, you have to choose.
No, I think when he casts it, all of them hit.
Okay.
But when if it is dispelled, at least the way I'm reading it, if it's dispelled, only one of the things is dispelled.
Yeah. So basically, all of you see vines and fog spread out from Alan's hands, and they start, and just for the real cool sake, they will start grabbing rubble and twisting it up and making a section of area that is clean for the kids. He will then, you'll see 4, and we'll say for this case, it says trees. You'll see 4 pine trees march into town up because it's the closest trees to him. And they will start, they will march into town, and people are like, what the fuck? But they will plant themselves and sit outside of the orphanage. Is this a concentration spell? It is not. So he's starting to, at the very least, make a area that they are safe for the next 24 hours until the town can figure out where to put them. He will then cast. What will he cast? He has a 9th level spell, so he can't do that. I think that's. He'll just start druid crafting flowers and stuff all over to try to like liven up the area so the kids aren't as traumatized. He's just trying to do anything he can to like help.
Seeing him start druid crafting, I'm obviously gonna jump on that bandwagon.
Okay. And so he starts doing that. He will then, I believe there's one more he can do.
Have we found everyone?
For the most part, this house that was on fire, the 2 residents, that an elder woman and an elder man, kind of like are out and about, like trying to see what the hell just happened, and
Okay, so then Elka's gonna try and help the kids get whatever they can from the rubble, any of their few belongings, and help them set up little like bedding areas.
Okay. Thaddeus, roll stealth check. Just trying to see if there's anything else he can do.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to hide yourself from being seen while grabbing the things you want to grab, then be stealth. If you're just trying to not be quiet about you grabbing something, the problem is with sleight of hand is that you're kind of out in the middle of the street. So it's what's your passive perception, Weaver?
24, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
You notice Thaddeus walking over and bending down and picking something up off the ground, but you do not realize what he's picking up.
Okay.
That's all you see.
I am immediately gonna walk over, and low enough that nobody else can hear me. Kind of, doing the classical like shoulder to shoulder away back to everybody. Friend Thaddeus, what did you retrieve?
I have the pot to the dagger. They need to be held safely.
I'm just gonna nod and not say anything else.
Okay.
Would you like to take one part to make sure they do not reconnect?
This one will accept that responsibility.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand him the handle part,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put the metal part in my bag.
So you have the hilt. You have the hilt of the dagger.
Yep.
Weaver.
Yep. Cool.
Alan's just gonna start doing what he can with like meld stone and mold earth spells to try to like fix up the road the best he can. To try to help out any way he can. We're gonna say this goes on. Alan's doing everything he can to help these people.
I am doing what I can, but I don't have much in the way of spells that can help.
Right.
So if there's anything I can do, like, shunt Alan my remaining 5th and 4th level spells or something like that to help.
Yeah, I mean all he's trying to do is just try to bring some element of normalcy back to the chaos. And he's gonna spend the next hour or so. So I mean, if you want to help, just kind of play like nurse for the kids to make sure that they're okay, and
Yeah.
I was gonna say wild shape into a cute animal so that they have something to play with.
Done.
wild shape into a dog or something. Yeah.
Yep. With a turban, because that's my thing when I wild shape.
That's hilarious. But yeah, so Alan is working his way through, and I'll be right back. And he's going to grab one of the animated trees and like point it to make it root itself down in the ground, and he's gonna cast Tree Stride on it. And he's gonna step through the tree, and you're gonna see through the tree, you see just a very brief glimpse of his miraged home that you all left. And he's gonna step through, and the tree's gonna close. And he's gonna walk in, and you assume he's grabbing things, but as he walks back in, you see the tree split back open, and he has like a full crate of like jars of like purified water in like blankets and stuff like that as he walks through. I thought this might help, ma'am, and he'll hand her a crate of like purified water as well as like a bunch of blankets and some food, just things that may be needed. And he'll look at all of you. Well, I mean, at least we can. I forgot I have that spell, but we can go places via trees if I know the tree.
Good to know.
Well, it's getting late, and
Wait. Does that mean he can go back to the Tree of Life? Was he with us?
yes, he was.
Can we go back to the Tree of Life and stock up on some water?
He has. How many spell slots does he have left? Hold on. So he used 2 5th level spells to go there and back. He still has 6th level spells and 7th level spells. So, yeah, if you want to, you could attempt. Wait, I want to make sure that I know that this is both trees must be living and be at least the same size as you. You must use a 5 feet of movement to enter a tree. You instantly know the location of all other trees of the same kind within 500 feet. And as part of the move, use into the tree it can either pass into one of the the same 500 feet. I believe. Am I in? Tree stride is the right spell I'm thinking of, right? Like,
I think so.
or is it
but I think
transport? Is it transport via plants?
that might be the one, which I believe is higher level than 5.
Yeah, transport via plants. So you could do, if you want to go to the Tree of Life, you could, but it's a one time. It's most of the time it's 2 times a day.
So like 2 trips. So basically he's already done his 2 trips.
He has 2 7th level spells, so he can cast it 2 more times, or technically 3 more times today, because he also has his 1 8th level.
Didn't he cast it to go home and back?
Yes, he's used up all of his 6th level spells.
Is it a 6?
Transport via plants is a 6th level spell.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So you can do it 4 times. He casts the spell technically 6 times a day if you include his 9th level spell, but he's already used that.
Okay. I mean,
so if you want to go, he's like, I mean, it's getting late, but I mean,
we can do it another time as well. It's not necessary to do it at this moment.
Well, I'd rather be freshened up on all my abilities if we are going to go find a place to sleep before we head out. So if you want to do it now, we can do it now, and then I'll just be really tired.
Can I look around for any large jugs that I could bring with me?
Make an investigation check. 10. Takes you some time, and if people with Alan helping out, realizing the purpose, it takes you about another half an hour or so to gather enough jugs that you think is appropriate.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna
4 or 5
grab
jugs.
Thaddeus too and be like, "Come on, we're gonna go refill our Tree of Life water."
Sounds like a good plan.
So he will Alan will cast transport via plants on the same. Is it inanimate plants within range? Oh shit! Well, technically, you wouldn't have been able to cast it on that tree, because it's inanimate.
I mean, wouldn't it be inanimate once it rooted itself?
That's true. Yep. You can command them to root themselves. Okay, so yeah, that works. Roll the cool. Who gives a shit? So he will open up a gate and say, "Well, it only lasts 6 seconds, so get in there." And as
Great, we'll jump through.
And you will find yourself in a cavern. Haven't been here for a while, and I believe I still have this. I do. Would you look at that?
And there's a black dragon that looks at you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of PTSD, but that's fine.
Here we
Just a little bit
are.
of trauma, just a little bit of an anxiety attack while I run around grabbing water. So I'm assuming we grabbed like 4 or 5 large jugs that
We're
we can
gonna
fill
we're
up.
gonna say 5, and so as you step in, the tree of life is still glowing. Um, so you choose to fill up the jugs, which takes about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, and I'm gonna lay in it because I'm like got half my hit points.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can I do that too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, okay. Will do.
Yep. You can lay in it, and it heals you to full.
I also have 2 water skins that I would like to fill with this.
Okay. Alan will pull out 2 water skins himself and fill them up. And Alan will look around. This place is different. Can't really explain it. Elka,
Yes.
you chose to go back to Arin. I mean,
He did.
I-
Listen, it was for a good cause.
you will hear whispers in your ear. She's back. Look, she's back. Oh my gosh. Must tell the others. She's back.
What?
You hear that in your ears, and Alan's like, "What?"
I'm gonna like look around frantically and see if I can see anything.
Make a perception check. I'm gonna throw on
Zach, and with empty jars, and then I'm gonna use my water skin that I had. So I'll have
19.
4.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Thaddeus.
I'll have 4 jars of the river water.
Okay. 19. You do see. You blink your eyes, and you do see like floating little globe, like orbs of fey light that are just sprinkling out from the tree. And then you turn and look, and you know what pixies are. You've dealt with them. You see tiny little pixies just sitting on the tree giggling, and you immediately realize it's probably them, and they're probably just fucking with me. However, you do feel a more intrusive voice come into your head. A familiar voice. You hear, you're back. I didn't realize that you'd ever be back, but you're back. Where are you? This is I'm blinking on her name already. This is Edna.
Edna.
Yeah, I thought it was I said Agatha. I was like, that's not right.
I almost said it too, and I was like, no, that's not right. This is in my head.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it? Okay, so I guess I'll think back, like, oh, we're at the Tree of Life. Can you get here?
Yeah. It's gonna take me a minute, but I'll make my way. And about 5 minutes go by, and a little girl, familiar little girl, visage, which you do know is just the transformed version of Enda the Red Dragon. She'll walk up. Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
I'm gonna go give her a hug.
And she will gladly jump into your arms and give you a big hug. I didn't think I'd ever talk to you again.
I know we gave your sending stone to Leon, we did miss you, but we realized that we could come back and get more of this water, so...
Alan will go, yeah, remember that I can transport myself through trees, so here we are. Wow, that's a great gift. Thaddeus, what are you doing down there? As Thaddeus is just backstroking in the...
Well, hello, I'm healing myself. I got my shit kicked out of me.
We had some problems, but we all survived, so that's good.
Well,
Does he know Torben?
You can check.
You can
I
ask
had
her.
another run-in with Torben. Long story. I gave a dagger to a kid that I shouldn't have given a dagger to that I'd taken from Torben's thing, and all hell broke loose, and now we're here.
Well, I don't know what a Torben is, but that sounds rough.
Well, if you ever hear of a Torben, run your ass off, because it's a bad shit.
Wait, is he a bad person?
He's a vampire. Awful.
Oh.
Awful, horrible thing.
Well, then I'll just eat him, I guess. I don't know. That's what dragons do, right?
Well, if you want to come with us and eat him, you're more than welcome. We could use the help.
You then, she kind of like points at the now engraved, you notice like a red tattoo that goes over, down her collarbone. And she just kind of points at it. I'm still stuck here.
Why? I wish we could help you.
Elka's gonna look at her really quick and then go, "Can I actually talk to you about something over there?" And just like
Yeah, of course.
move over here, out of earshot from Thaddeus and Alan.
Okay.
So she's gonna like pull up her her tunic like sleeve and like show Edna her now like fully scaled arm.
Oh.
So this started happening to my arm and my brother's, and we're not quite sure what is going on with it.
Okay. Well, let me take a look, and she will kind of like put her hand down on it. Bronze dragon scales. Only bronze dragon I know of.
I thought it was gold dragon.
Or is it gold? I thought it was bronze, my bad.
I think it's gold.
It's a gold.
I'm gonna look it up really quick.
It's lead.
To save me the time, can you tell me what the dragon's name is? Because I'd have to dig through like notes and notes and notes to try to find that dude's name. Because we haven't mentioned his name in forever.
Tilgex the Gold.
Tilgex. I knew it started with a T. She will I guess she will roll a history check. Which, for a girl that has a -1 in history, that's not bad. I think you probably have some sort of dragon ancestry, to be my guess.
That.
Well, you know, I guess maybe this is just your ancestors' power taking root into your body. Although I've never seen my scalification, we'll call it, happen because I was cursed. Your seems to be more natural. I mean, and she'll like form scales on her arms. She's like, see, mine are, they look the same, but mine's definitely because I'm cursed. Yours, I can't help but sense it's natural. I just hope you're not turning into a dragon.
I mean, if I could keep my, consciousness, that wouldn't be a bad thing right now.
Well, based off the scales, gold dragons, there's not that many that... Gold dragons I know are rare. And, I don't know any of their names. But I'd say embrace it for now. And if it gets to the point where it's uncomfortable or you don't want it any longer, if your brother doesn't want it any longer, I'd say maybe find someone who's a specialist in dragon ancestry. I wish, my worldview is limited to these caves. So
I understand.
All I know is you have scales like me now.
Wow. I'm glad that, you know, you're not alone in that plight.
Well, I am too. Hey, I got a question. Do you think I could maybe try crossing through that tree? Like,
You could try.
Let us go first, and then you can join us.
well, yeah.
I'll hold your hand.
Okay. I mean, I think I already know what's gonna happen, but I've never tried walking through a tree before, so maybe it's different.
Well, let's see if they're ready to go and we can head back.
Okay. And she'll
Elka will hold her hand out for her.
she's gonna start skipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Alan, I think we're ready to go. You remember Edna?
Well, of course I remember the little lady. I was staring at her teeth at one point with Beep. That was a harrowing experience, but
She would like to try and come through the gate with us.
by all means, I don't think there's any sort of limitations to the amount of people that can cross through the gate. There's just a time limit, so...
All right, Elka's gonna turn around and shout, "Thaddeus, we're leaving, with or without you."
I'm like running forward and diving through the gate before the dragon does.
Okay. You didn't have to be that. Yeah, whatever.
Rude.
Well-
All right.
It was a pleasure, and he'll nod his head, and he will walk through the gate. So you're leading her by the hand through the gate.
Mm-hmm.
As you go through the gate, you feel your hand get forcibly removed from hers, almost like almost like a blast of force energy just hits in between, almost like a magnet. And as you step through, you look behind, and you do see her just kind of like half sad grin, but wave, and you hear just the briefest thing, "Come back and visit." And she closes her hand, and the gate closes in front of you.
We really got to figure out how to get her out of there. At least we can go visit.
True.
You're right. That was kind of rude of me.
Wrong map. Okay. Is there any way to... Oh, I see. I can scroll while grabbing that. Okay. So, actually, we will, as you come back, we are now back. I'll just use the city proper map now. It is now nighttime here in Woodhurst. And the rest, after you do notice a gentle calm has finally fallen over this loud, or at one point chaotic section of Woodhurst. The kids are starting to come to terms with what just happened, and you see a lot of the people. You see the family that you saved no longer there. They have moved somewhere, gone somewhere else, as the night has fallen. All your friends are sitting there waiting, and the rest of the night is yours.
I will pass out a jug to Zane, Ori, Beep, and Weavra, and then I'll keep one for myself.
Okay. I got a fucking stink bug on my desk. Go away. Go away.
So we all have one jug full of the water of life,
Okay.
and then I have 2 extra water skins.
All right. Let me put that in Ori's. Which at this point we'll just say. Okay. So all of you, once you hand those out, what do you guys want to do? You still have an adventure afoot with going into the mountains and following the map, which, by the way, should be in all your journals. The map that was given to you via the little grung shopkeep. Yep.
Are we gonna need cold gear?
It's the equivalent of summer right now.
Oh, okay.
So it is going to get chilly as you go higher. So if you're not very good with cold,
I mean, I'm covered in furs.
as
so-
I look at the reptilian friends of reptilian persuasion,
Yep.
I mean, I'm part reptile, but
uh,
I'm covered in fur.
I'd say it might be beneficial to grab something that may keep you warm if you don't already have it.
I
But-
have a heavy cloak.
That will probably help. It's more or less the air temperature will drop and the wind will start to get heavier the higher you go. You all are aware of the swirling, arcane-filled skies that engulf this plane of existence, and you know that the higher you go, the denser it gets.
How
so-
late in the day is it?
It's nighttime. It's dark. It's around 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock at this point.
Okay. Then we should probably find a place to stay for the night. And then in the morning, I feel like at least Zane, Thaddeus, and Ilara are gonna need some sort of like thicker outfits, especially since Ilara I think is running around barefoot and in rags still.
I believe you're right. Lexi can confirm if she's here. She is muted, so I don't know.
I should have plenty.
She might be getting dinner. Okay, so you find an inn for the night. We'll just say rooms are found. The shopkeep, human fella, asks for 2 silver per room, and there's 5 rooms available. So you will
How
have to
many-
share
How many beds per room?
2.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay, so two silver a room. So it's a gold for a 1-night stay.
Alright, we'll just do the night.
Okay, so as all of you go to sleep,
Oh, we do need lodging for the donkey.
there's stables out back.
Okay.
Yeah, Dennis the donkey is still with you. In fact, Ori will spend a good portion of the night making sure he is comfortable. I've been told in all caps by Nate, Dennis is my best friend except for Alara.
Got it.
So he said if anything happens to Dennis, I quit. Like, okay.
Got it.
Fair enough. So Dennis does get fed and slept for the night, or he will pay for the donkey. We'll just say it's a silver for feed and everything. Oh my god, there's a Murdoch.
Ah, our new Weaver player.
Doggo! Oh my god. I hope he doesn't have anything on his desk.
Oh, he probably does.
No, he's got it now. Now checking what's underneath the desk. The all important.
Make sure there's no crumbs.
Exactly. Okay. So Ori comes up later on in the later up in the day, or later up at night, after he's taken some time to hang out with Dennis and make sure he's comfortable. He wanders in and rests for the night. The night goes off without much issue. All of you are now long rested. And the next morning comes. We'll say first order of business is to go find some heavy clothing. We'll just say you do that just because we only got an
We
hour left.
don't have a shopping montage of dressing Elara up in cute.
I'm
woolly
sorry.
clothes?
I've had the next section of this story planned for like 3 months. But you all acquire heavy enough gear. I'm gonna say that'll put you back about 5 gold for getting colder weather attire. Alan will actually foot that bill.
I was gonna say.
Let's see here. Where is Alan's gold? There it is. Okay. Alan will throw the coin down for that bill. Following the map, and we will we can pull that map up. I believe it should be a handout for all of you. The Onocarres Mountain map.
Mm-hmm.
You would know going out of Woodhurst that the immediate northwestern road will take you up into the abandoned mining town of Elican. The journey to Elican is around a 3-day on foot journey. Marked at the top of the map is written a few what you would assume, which Alan has read the poem, and he tried to identify the runes. However, he did not understand what they said. They're dwarvish runes. That's all he could really identify them as. But you make your way out of the town. Is there anything else you want to do before exiting the town?
Yeah, let's hit up a brothel.
There is none.
Game on. Oh.
Can I just check with the Adventuring Guild and see if there's any requests that are going the direction we're headed?
Yeah.
Just doesn't have to be like a whole roleplay session, just give me a list. Or if you want to do that after, and then we can.
No, I actually I have an entire thing created for that. You guys, none of you guys have really gone and taken jobs from the Adventurers Guild, but let me pull up the Adventurers Guild.
I feel like that's what Elka was doing before she joined this group.
Yeah. Okay. Where in my drive notes is that table? There it is. Okay. You walk in, and like most adventurers guilds, there's a quest board that have varying levels of difficulty, varying levels of pay. You find one as okay. Okay. You pull one up. You look, and it says right on it, and it has a small little picture of what looks to be a skull on it, and it says kill quest to defeat the undead in the Onocarres Mountains. That's all it states, and it says that the bounty is 1 gold per skull collected.
You're saying skull?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, it's sounding a little bit like Scar, and I'm making sure I know what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay, so we can just collect those as we go.
So yeah,
Right.
so it says call the undead in the Onocarres Mountains, 1 gold per skull collected. There's also one that says there's 2 missing people missions. One for a see here. One for a gnome named Annalie McElmeyer. She went missing 3 days ago as she wandered up into the mountains and never came back. The reward for any information or finding her alive, or finding any information on her whereabouts, they're paying 5 gold. Finding her alive, they're offering 100 gold, and finding her corpse and bringing it back, they're offering 50 gold. There's another missing persons that is significantly older. Find a mission to find the captain of the guard. What's his name? Okay, captain of the guard, Alexander Tooney. He's a human man. He went missing 14 weeks ago during his expedition to go and call the undead within the mountains. He has yet to return. Then there's also a kill quest for for any information on him. Any information, they're paying 15 gold. Finding him alive, they are paying 1,000 gold. And finding his corpse or his remains, 500 gold. And then there's one more quest that pertains to the mountains. Investigate the mysterious phenomena of the thunder beast that has been roaming the Onocarres Mountains for decades. Any information or any evidence of its existence, they will pay 1,500 gold. Capturing the beast alive, they're offering 10,000 gold, and bringing back its dead body, they're offering 1 gold. It states in the mission as you read closer that their interest is having it alive so that they can study it. So, those
Got it.
are the quests.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So, are you taking any of those? Or are you?
I mean, like we'll grab them. So
Okay.
if we run into anything,
So
know that there's money waiting for us.
you request the flyer, and it is given to you. We will say that you yourself has definitely been registered with the Adventurers Guild of Sylvania for a few years now. So they gladly give you those quests. So as you make your way out, Alan is continuing to just study these runes on this map, and he keeps failing on translating them. So you start to head out. First day, I would like to know who is leading the pack into the mountains. And
The tall people.
And who is keeping an eye out for anything bad that could happen along the way.
I mean, I am always keeping an eye out for anything bad that can happen, so.
I was gonna say probably Weavra.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
And I am not a very mountainous-based person, so I'm not necessarily leading the way.
Okay. Alan is definitely not leading the way. He's also not a mountain dweller. He is very much a forest dweller, so.
Would Elka have any experience with mountaineering?
Other than having to go past, you yourself, you've probably passed through the, as I try to remember, there's 2 mountain ranges in Sylvania. You've passed through, there we go. We'll just grab the world map so I can remind myself of my own world. You yourself have passed through the Haverlow Mountains. Being in such close proximity to Artemis. However, the path through the Haverlow Mountains is a road. So mountaineering, not necessarily. Understanding the geography and dangers that come with passing through a mountain, going through a mountain pass. You understand that there could be fallen rocks and birds of prey and other large creatures of prey that could stalk the mountains, but you've never been to the Onocarres Mountains.
All right, cool. I'm gonna like hide behind a tall person
Okay.
because I don't want to be out in front.
Okay. So, I'm gonna say, honestly, the person to be leading the charge would be Ori. So we will roll a survival check for Ori. Dirty 20 for his survival check. Ori is able to keep you on what seems to be the pathway to Elican. Vivra, without having to have you roll, it seems pretty clear on the first day. There's not a lot of danger in sight. A majority of your day is spent passing through the plains and the foothills just outside the mountain range. And as night falls over the first night, you do find yourself entering the first major incline, going up into the mountain range. And you're able to find, with Ori's help, you're able to find a nice flat area to set up camp for the night, and pitch some tents and find some rest. Do you guys want to do watch, or do you want to just go to sleep and hope you're close enough to town that nothing will bother you?
Oh, hell no.
Are you kidding me?
I gotta give you the options.
I'll take the last watch.
Okay. Alan will take first watch.
Thaddeus
for
will
me.
take second watch.
Okay.
Okay. Then I will join Elka on the last watch,
Okay.
with the caveat that I'm going to be paying more attention to gathering and
That's what I assumed you'd be making breakfast.
yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, Alan will keep first watch, and Ori will join him, so we can get the rules that I have to do out of the way. So perception would be the roll. What is this perception? Ori's is god awful. And Alan's roll could be better. But still an 18. Ori kind of more or less is taking in the brisk air that is starting to come fill his lungs. He's keeping a haphazard eye out, but also knows that there's strength in numbers, and he's not really worried about anything that would ever attack you guys because he's him. Alan does keep a better eye out, and other than the occasional wolf sounds at night, which Weaver, you do hear them. They do wake you up when you first hear them. You do hear a very subtle, wolf cry that echoes out through the mountains. Where are those? Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. God damn it.
That's your wolf noise.
No, there's the wolf noise. But you just from waking up and hearing him for a moment, Weaver, you gauge there's probably 7, 8 of them that are wandering the mountains somewhere. They're probably within a mile. Nothing too majorly close to you.
And I know that Ori and Alan are keeping watch, so
Yeah, and Alan is kind of pinned in on their location with what he rolled. He's also a quite persuasive person. Or not persuasive, but perceptive is the word I'm looking for. but first watch goes without much issue. Who's taking second watch? I'm sorry. Was it Thaddeus? Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. If Thaddeus, as you wake up, Alan kind of taps you on the shoulder to wake you up, and I'm gonna need you to roll perception check. 16. Same deal. You hear wolves. Very clearly. There's a pack of them roaming throughout the mountains, hunting. Just existing. None of them ever get close enough for you to ever see them, or really even like hear them to where they're like right on top of you. But they're definitely around. But second watch goes off without much issue. Okay. As Elka and Vivra wake up, Elka, go and roll a perception check since you're the one who's primarily keeping watch as Vivra goes out and starts gathering.
Yeah, can I roll a disadvantage because I'm still paying attention, but I'm also
if you want to impose disadvantage on yourself, that's perfectly fine.
I rolled a 14.
14 and 11. Weaver, you're pretty yeah, 2 on the roll sucks. But however, Elka, you do hear the howling, and Weaver, you do hear the howling as well, slowly start to dissipate as the early morning starts to settle in, and the wind starts to pick up. You no longer hear the howls, whether the howls are being blocked out by the wind that's starting to pick up, or they're just bedding down for the morning. You no longer hear the howls of the wolves. Vivra, as you go and try to gather around the mountainside, you've never really been done much mountain travel. Maybe the occasional like high plateau in the desert, but nothing you did grow up around a mountain range. However, the mountain range wasn't exactly this type of mountain range.
yeah.
You grew up around a desert mountain range, being the Hunt Bell Mountains, there in the Sabbath Desert. But you never really wandered too far deep into those mountains, just given the fact that you were a younger person then. And
To be fair, I still am now.
you are, but we're talking like
He's a baby.
we're talking like shouldn't go anywhere without parental supervision type of young. These mountains are different. They're a mixture of green and like dark stone. But you have make a survival check to see just for gathering.
Oops.
I'll just take the 14. 14, roll d6. Okay. After some looking around and perusing the local vegetation, you are able to find freshly grown onions. They're wild onions. They're quite large, actually. They are bulbous onions, and as you dig them up, you're able to get 4 really nice sized. They almost look like white onions, but they're dirty, and we're able to pull them up, and they smell very pungent. But yeah, you're able to find those in the morning. Elka, with your 14, you watch Weaver disappear over the ridge as he's looking for vegetables and whatnot. You think you're being perceptive. However, you do not notice a creeping figure, we'll call it, that is within eyeshot of you.
Is it Thaddeus?
No. You notice after taking some time, and unfortunately you're with a 14, it takes you a bit of time to spot out the creeping four-legged creature that is climbing down the mountain range that's about 60 feet above you. As you look up at it, you notice stout, muscular figure on four legs, and as you kind of like put your hands on your rapiers to get ready for anything, you peer and look, and you see curved horns on top of its head. You see white fur, and as you look at it, it's a mountain goat.
No.
Wandering its way down very quietly, and just kind of like checking out the camp, and like just a curious goat. And as you look behind it, you notice two little baby white goats following behind.
I'm gonna pull some of my vegetables that I've have stowed away, like lettuce or something, to feed them.
Okay. You attempt to feed. Are you just gonna throw them out at them, or are you gonna?
I'm just gonna like toss it nearby.
Roll an animal handling check for the shits and giggles.
I rolled a 1.
A natural 1. You throw the vegetables at the goats, and the mama goat perceives it as a threat and forces her babies to run up the mountain quickly as she like sits there and stamps her foot at you and blows her nose at you, and steam comes out of her nose in the early morning light, and then she kind of like sniffs and smells at their vegetables, looks down at them, picks up, say it's a carrot, picks up the carrot with it in its mouth, looks at you, spits it out back down the mountain, and then turns around and goes up the mountain.
And then I murder the goat from its meat. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, and then we can raise the little baby goats as pack goats.
You guys are.
It's all coming together.
You guys are.
Elka's gonna like stick her tongue out at the goat.
Dennis starts laughing in donkey.
I forgot about Dennis.
Yeah. He
Elka's
just
gonna
starts
look over
making
and be
some
like-
obnoxious donkey noises.
Elka's gonna look over and be like, if you keep being that loud, you're gonna wake everyone up.
Dennis just looks at you and just goes, just lets out the biggest like donkey scream ever, like teeth baring, and Ori just kind of peeks his head out the tent like, Dennis, hush.
Elka's gonna throw a carrot, and in Dennis's general direction, not aiming for Dennis, but like as a both a peace offering and a shut the fuck up offering.
Make an animal handling check.
God. 15.
Dennis just like stares at you, his large marble black beady eyes. If a donkey could squint, he would. He just looks you down and up and slowly walks up and grabs the carrot and walks away. Not because he wanted to.
She's gonna shout, "You're welcome." Just like that.
Dennis poops.
Oh, thanks, Dennis. I'm not cleaning up after him.
You guys armed me with a donkey. I'm all about this shit.
Literally.
Yeah, apparently.
So, long rest has had. All of you wake up from your sleep, feeling fairly rested in the brisk cold morning. Weaver, you're able to wander back and start making breakfast. We're gonna say roll d20. I'm curious.
Who's rolling a d20?
Weaver, 3.
Oh, boy.
You're able to make palatable breakfast. You're you. However, that roll is for potential temp hit points.
Fair.
And no 10 hit points are gained for the day.
Also fair.
But all of you sit down for breakfast. Elka eating your primarily vegetarian diet. Actually, all vegetarian diet at this
I'm like,
point.
not primarily, like
It's all veg. Is it vegan or is it vegetarian? Like, are you down to still like do like drink milk or something like that?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, just for lore, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't
puppy.
think rabbits are obligate carnivores, but I can't imagine them not eating cheese.
Yeah, I think they are technically they're omnivores, but they don't eat meat. If that makes sense. I don't know what the natural term is for that. Like
Apparently, rabbits are not built to consume lactose.
Oh, well, I mean, this is fantasy, so
Right. We're just gonna assume. I'm just gonna go with. I'm gonna go with vegetarian, not vegan. I'm not that pretentious.
It looks like you have a parrot on your shoulder there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty normal. That's
Good old Murdoch. I feel like we could have a full compilation of just Murdoch doing things. What is he?
Trying to find a seat, apparently. Falling off of my back and just hanging out.
Puppy dog.
He's so starved of attention.
Right?
So lonely.
He has to be like inside your skin. Like that's the level of attention he needs.
Just about. I took a work meeting the other day where I was only on like the front 3 inches of my chair, if that, because he was sitting on the chair behind me.
That's
and
funny.
I couldn't pick him up and throw him away because I felt bad.
So basically, what you're doing right now.
Pretty much.
Fair enough. Anyways, breakfast is made. All of you sit down for a nice breakfast.
An okay breakfast.
An okay
From
breakfast.
the sound of it.
Yeah. Weaver's a little rusty. It's been a few days since he's had to, cook breakfast, I guess. But you do travel on during the day. Ori will roll a survival check, which he is knocking out of the park right now. With a 21. So Ori is able to guide you on the path as it starts to get much more rocky and much more mountainous. Weaver, make a perception check. And if anybody else wants to keep an eye out for bad things, you can make a perception check. That's a much better roll than the 2 you had from the day prior.
So.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12.
12? Okay. Traveling during the day, you with Ori guiding you and where to put your feet, the mountain path starts to get thin. The road is no longer a road, and it's barely wide enough to bring like a small cart up the path, and that width of that path suddenly turns into like a wide enough footpath to have like 2 people walking side by side, and it persists on that for a majority of the day. Weaver, you with your 21, you do start to hear rumbling in the earth. You hear almost like an earthquake, but it's not quite as powerful. You do hear and you do look up and you do see in time, so it doesn't surprise you, and it will lower the DC. But you do see a rock fall starting to come down from the mountain, and it's slowly starting to pick up pace. And these are not just rocks. It's not just a rock. It's a boulder.
It's backwards, but okay.
It's not just a boulder. It's a rock.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Wow.
sorry.
I can't believe you don't know classic SpongeBob.
Getting my SpongeBob wrong. But either way, the rocks are starting to fall. I'd like everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
I was gonna say, as soon as I noticed that I'm calling out, I forgot to flip my spells around. But I'm not gonna do it now because
I just rolled.
I would have.
Just rolled 2 16s.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 21.
Nice. Weaver's dead.
Yup.
We'll find out. What is Alan's dex save? Oh wow, Alan's is pretty good. Ori and Alan are both dive out of the way. Oh boy.
Wow, everyone's doing great.
Oh no.
Right.
Are we all gonna die? Is this how the party ends?
I need a roll from Beep and Zane.
Not with a big bad evil guy, but with some rocks.
Rocks fall, party dies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
I need
and then we all wake up in town after having a horribly bad dream.
I still need a dex save from Zane and Beep. Both of you are either not here or muted.
Sorry.
Oh, my bad.
I didn't hear my name.
Dex save for both of you, please.
21.
21.
Nice.
Okay.
Same as Alan rolled a 22, and Ori rolled a 21, actually. So Alan, Ori, Zane, and Beep, you're all able to look up, and actually Thaddeus as well. You're all able to, and Elka. I didn't see the 13. So everybody but Alera and Vivra, the person who noticed the rocks.
I was too busy warning everybody.
As you go to get out of the way, you get smacked in the face by a rock. So does oh boy, Alera. Oh boy. Okay. High or low? I'm gonna go with let's just say yeah. Bingo, high or low.
Oh boy. I am feeling high today.
I wish I was high.
Likewise.
Okay. This should be fun. Where are my D6s?
Oh, you failed.
Oh, that's not a good. That's not good.
Okay. Weavra, you get hit in the head and from the falling rock. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's not too bad.
As you get hit in the face. And you're able to steady yourself. However, Alera being on top of Ori jumps out of the way, but Alera gets hit mid-jump off his head by a rock probably about the size of her. Which Alera also takes 17 points of bludgeoning damage. However, you look around and there's no Alera.
Oh no.
You look and she's Alera. I'm gonna need Alera to make a dexterity saving throw now. Or sorry, not dex save, acrobatics check. Natural 20.
Ooh.
Nice.
Alera, you're able to.
All right, Baby Yoda.
You're able to collect yourself just in time to grab onto a small rock, rock surface that is about 15 feet down the ledge that you just got knocked off of. And you're now hanging on for dear life. All of you look down, you just see Alera holding on, little stubby pink hands and all, just trying to hang on to this cliff. What do you guys want to try to do?
Is there anywhere I can like hop down to grab her? Any like?
No, it's a sheer cliff as you look down.
I will beat you to it and cast Grasping Vine.
Okay. Which I think Alara would probably elect to fail.
I've got magic.
But as you cast Grasping Vine, you do grab her, and you bring her calmly up to the surface. No problem.
I've hardly spoken this entire session, and the whole time, all you heard was Alara going, like fucking Toad, like the entire time.
It's funny, it was too high for your mic to pick up, so you just cut out.
That was what it was.
It was too high for our ears to even comprehend.
Just a feral goblin girl just fighting for her life.
It's just a dog whistle.
Ori stands up and panics when he realizes that Alara is gone. And as he sees her being guided up, he just grabs her and gives her a big hug, like, "Are you okay?"
I'm tired of this, boss.
Let's tooting bang! Who's
Uh,
a meme D&D group?
It's Grandpa.
It's too damn bad.
uh,
I
A-
keep digging holes.
Alan will cast Cure Wounds at second level on both of you. That's,
How much is that healing?
I'll tell you in a moment. It's 2d8 plus 6, so that's Alara, you get healed 13 points, and Vuivra, you get healed 19 points, so you're back to full. After collecting yourself and realizing that rock falls are a definite danger, you will have advantage on looking out for them if they do happen to happen. Now that you know that they're a thing, but you continue on this the tighter woven path around the mountain, and eventually, with Ori's survival check, you are able to find a nice like cave that's in the side of the hill that has very clearly been used in the past by other mountaineers that have made their way up the mountain on this path. But you all camp for the night. Is there anything you guys want to do before going to sleep?
Can I investigate the cave for any leftover goodies?
Sure. Roll an investigation check. 15. There's firewood, and you do find like an old flint and steel that has been left behind by either someone who forgot it or is just leaving it for other travelers on the mountain path. After looking farther into the cave, you do notice, although you're not really looking for them, you do get surprised by bats that have made the mountain cave their home. But they fly out and swoop down at your ears, and but they miss and they continue on and fly out the cave. As you look deeper into the cave, it's a fairly shallow cave. You do find with the 15 a small hand axe.
Alright, I'll just bring that to the front. I'll probably leave it there for other travelers.
Very clearly been used to cut wood and maybe protect someone in the past, but
I'll just make it a little more accessible to the next person.
Okay. So you grab that, and at this point, Alan has taken out some firewood out of his bag and put together a fire, and he just kind of looks at everyone. Oh God, sorry. Yes, he coughs because he's a smoker. He just looks at all of you. Well, I am prepared for this journey. I did grab some firewood on my way back from my hut, so.
Well, that's good. I'll probably just leave all of this here then for either us on the way back or someone else on the way up.
Sounds good to me. As he hits hits the campfire with the produced flame and starts the fire. Who wants to do watch?
I glare at Alan. That's my job. No, I'm kidding.
I'll do third.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll do last watch again.
Okay. Alan will do first watch.
Thaddeus will do second.
Elko's very much a morning person.
Okay. Okay. Alan will take solo watch then. Not very well.
Yeah, we're dead.
That's a natural 2, but he does have plus 12 to perception, so.
So he watches us die.
So 14. His watch goes off without much issue to his knowledge. He doesn't hear anything. Weaver, you don't notice the wolves howling tonight as you go to bed. And Alan actually spends a lot of time trying to decode the map and attempting to translate, to the best of his ability, dwarvish runes, which are not his specialty. But in this case, Weaver, since you're the only one with a passive perception high enough to beat his stealth, you hear him say, "Aha! That's what that meant." So.
I just kind of let that go.
Yeah. But he walks into the tent and wakes you up, Thaddeus, for your watch, and his watch so far goes off without any issue. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Thaddeus.
Well, I thought you said my watch was good. All right.
No, Alan's watch was good. You haven't
okay.
rolled yet. 7.
And Thaddeus is dead.
He's the knight of shitty perception checks from the sound of it.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, wait. Thaddeus rolled a 2. Alan rolled a 2. What is happening?
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2
last
as
time.
well? Yeah, like that's all. You can only get one number worse, guys. Thaddeus, you're kind of dozing off during your watch. It's not that you're not trying to be perceptive. It's just that you're not quite used to mountaineering, and it does hit your body a little bit harder than you expected. Plus, sipping on some booze at higher elevations is making you be a little bit less perceptive.
Oh, what am I saying?
Not that drunk.
Okay.
You immediately feel lightheaded, though, because even just sipping on, on whatever you have in your alchemy jug right now, the difference in elevation is very plain to feel. But
Expanding, so I'm drinking more.
as you kind of go to nod off and go to catch yourself, you blink your eyes, and standing at the foot of the cave, you notice a creature. You hear this low, grumbled growl coming from the mouth of the cave, and as you look, a flash of lightning cracks down, and rain starts. And you hear thunder start to erupt through the cave.
This outside the cave?
Outside the cave, it's starting to rain, and every flash of lightning, you see a visage of this creature. and it's just standing there, looking over the camp. Make a perception check, another perception check, as you've now gotten a full view of this creature. That's the one worse I'm talking about.
Oh, Jesus
You've not
Christ.
gotten a better view of the creature.
You think this is an illusion, a drunken, an alcohol-fueled illusion, as you kind of like look at it, like just trying to really look it up and down. You blink your eyes, and all of a sudden, the creature is no longer in the mouth of the cave, and it's up in front of you, just like your kitty cat is. Thank you for the prop. I don't know which cat that is.
This is Twister.
Twister. Thank you, Twister, for the excellent illustration of what this is like.
Oh, no problem. I want my royalties.
Standing in front of you is a wolf-like creature. It's kind of like not baring its teeth at you. It doesn't seem aggressive. It seems more curious than anything. But it's kind of like looking at you and sniffing. You now realize that this is not an illusion. And this is a real thing. Make a... Hold on. Is it a intelligence saving throw or wisdom saving throw? It's a wisdom saving throw. Make a wisdom saving throw, Thaddeus.
Oh, PG. How about a tail how about a tail saving throw?
17. Wow, okay. For you, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Battle, baby. Battle.
You're able to stare at it, and you do not feel feared as you look at it. You've seen scarier things. This looks almost like a click the wrong button. This looks like a wolf. But its fur is pitch black. The tips of its fur, almost like the outline of its body, is like a dark purple. And has streaks of what look to be like lightning bolts making out of its fur in its eyes, around its eyes. And it just kind of like looks at you and like sniffs you. Make an animal handling check for me. This is going about as well as I thought it would. It sniffs you. It smells the booze and does not like the smell. It kind of like puts its head down and looks at you, and as you look into its eyes are a deep, dark, like purple, and they're glowing. And you start to feel energy crack off of its body, and you feel like a rush of thunderous energy fill the air. Vivra, you do, with your passive perception, you feel this thunderous energy starting to light up, and I believe Alan's would as well.
Okay, that answers my question.
Alan will immediately wake up, but he won't peek his head out of the tent yet. Thaddeus, you're not afraid of this creature. However, the creature's mannerisms have now gone from curiosity to defensive in a way it's not trying to be threatening to you, but it doesn't quite enjoy your company as much as it may have thought it would. And it's starting to like circle back towards the mouth of the cave. At this point,
Can I roll a history check and see if I know what the hell this is?
Yeah. Actually, you're one of the few people in this party that could. Yeah. 10. You've heard various legends about creatures that live within the mountains of Sylvania that are almost seen as deities in some way. You would also know, just from being shown a flyer from Elka that there's a quest currently with the Adventurers Guild to attempt to find any evidence of the existence of what's considered the Thunder Beast of the Onocarres Mountains. And that kind of hits your mind first before anything.
God damn it! Now I'm not sober. Now I'm sober.
At this point, Alan will like slowly peek his
Elka?
head out.
Elka?
Well,
Elka.
How loud are you being?
Try not to scare the shit out of this thing, but
Like, I don't know how close I would be.
it'd be within talking distance that, like, if you heard your name, you're a light enough sleeper that you could probably hear him. It just depends on how much you want to sleep.
I'm gonna. I mean, she'll wake up because she knows she's next in for watch, but it also doesn't feel like she's had as much sleep as she normally does. What is it, Thaddeus? She'll
look
like.
at the front of the cave.
It's starting
Might be-
to do
It's
like
like right in front of you, bro.
it's like starting to figure eights at the mouth of the cave, like looking in at your camp, like more defensive and curious now that it hears more voices inside the cave.
Can I see it from where I'm at?
Yeah, it's very easy to see.
Okay.
It's glowing purple at this point.
Alright, Elka's gonna look over at the cave and see it and immediately be wide awake and be like, is that a wolf? What is that?
Thunder cracks down from outside.
I'm getting ready to cast a spell.
You're gonna cast a spell.
I'm getting ready if I see any sort of aggressive motion.
It's not necessarily aggressive, and you're a pretty good judge of wild animals. It's it's defensive.
If I see an aggressive movement, I am casting a spell. So
it is defensive in the fact that you are a bunch of humanoids, and it's kind of like the best way I could describe it is that you almost get like a teenage like curiosity from it, but it knows
I resemble that remark.
But it knows it needs to be defensive.
Oh, it's Matt Get's date.
Stop it.
Sorry.
But it knows it needs to be semi-defensive, and it's making kind of like it almost looks like it can't make up its mind. And it's not like actively growling or angry or like looking like it wants to attack, but it is flaring up a purple energy from its body. And you do notice every time thunder erupts and a flash of lightning happens, you notice its body glow brighter every time it does with that energy.
Hey, buddy. Hi, come over here.
You already rolled a 3 with an animal handling check. It's ignoring you.
Elka is gonna look over at Weebra and say, do you have any raw meat to give it? Maybe we can at least try to capture it.
I'll go ahead and reach into my bag. I don't know. I have to admit, I think I stopped keeping track of the ridiculous meats in the bag.
We'll just say you keep a stock.
Oh no, I have 40 pounds of harpy meat still in my inventory. So
There you go.
I'm gonna pull out some cheese.
Don't give the wild animals cheese.
Alara wakes up from the dead.
Can I eat cheese?
Alan kind of peeks his head out. Oh, that's a pretty creature. And he'll just kind of like, in his Alan-like way, he's just gonna kind of like stand up and like very nonchalantly walk up and like sit down near the fire. Do you have any idea what this thing is?
This one does not.
Elka's gonna pull out the flyer for the Thunder Beast and say, I believe it might be this, or perhaps a juvenile one.
Well, there's an idea. And Alan will, since he can speak with animals, which I think Weaver can as well.
I can, but I don't have the spell prepared.
Yeah, Alan can just talk with animals. It's an innate ability of his. He will look at it and say, friend, we mean you no harm, at least to my knowledge. Who are you, and do you need anything? And you will see the creature kind of like look curiously at Alan, and then like quietly walk up, kind of like a stray dog that wants to be friends, but is too a little bit cautious. And it kind of like walks up and like looks at Alan, and you hear like tiny little like vocalizations, like whimpers, coming from its mouth. And Alan's like, let's see. Well, we're just traveling through, and mean you no harm. Is there? I'm gonna ask you again. Is there anything you need, or are you just here out of curiosity? And you'll see it kind of like shake its head, like a dog shaking out its coat or shaking out its fur from being wet, and it shakes its head kind of like in a no pattern. Or do you mean us any harm? And it does the same, like no shake. Is this you? And he'll point to the flyer of like the picture of the beast, and it'll kind of look a little confused, and kind of like paw at the ground, and then slowly turn around, do another circle to the front of the cave, and just look abundantly curious, but also like you immediately get the sense that it might feel like it's overextended its welcome, and you do see it starting to get closer to the mouth of the cave. And Alan says, "Well, I understand you have a job to do. Well, if you ever see us around and you want to stop in for
Elka is going to, like, is Alan relaying this back to us?
No, he's not saying a word to you guys. He's just having a conversation with this creature.
Okay. Elka's just gonna look at Alan very quickly and say, we're not gonna bring it in, and we can probably just give them some... Actually, if we could take some of its fur, we can tell them we found it somewhere else so that they don't come over here looking for him.
Well, I can certainly ask him that. Friend, before you go, there's a group down in the town that is looking for any evidence of your existence. I know that it's probably not ideal for them to know where you are, who you are, or what you are. But is there any way we can get a little bit of your fur, or maybe I don't know, some sort of evidence that they could use, and then we can, I don't know, maybe put them on, give them hope that you actually exist, but make them aware that you actually exist, but then send them on a different direction so that way they don't know where you are. And you see the creature kind of like tilt its head a little bit, like a dog tilting its head, Alan is going to roll an animal handling check with advantage.
God, I love Alan.
You guys earned it with a roll to have him come with, so congratulations. Yeah. That's a 27 on the animal handling check. Did Murdoch just like straight take that out of your mouth?
Yes. I was trying to get him to sit on my lap to take it out of my mouth, but
He just jumped up and grabbed that shit.
pretty much.
Speaking of duckets, but the creature will kind of look quietly at Alan and gesture its head for Alan, and Alan will stand up and walk towards it with his hand out, and he will put his hand on the creature, and you'll as Alan puts his hand on the creature, you'll see all the hair on Alan, which Alan is a fairly furry guy. You'll see all the hair on Alan stand up as if it's being charged with electrical energy. And he will take out a small little bit of shears that he has, and he will cut a tiny piece of fur off of this creature, and he will immediately put it in a little leather pouch, and he will just kind of like pat it on the neck and say, "Don't worry, friend. I'll make sure that they don't ever find you. But I appreciate this gesture."
I'll go ahead and give the creature, hold out for the creature, just a big old honk of harpy meat that I have.
Roll an animal handling check.
Oh boy. Because we all know how well those have gone for me in the past.
12. It will look at Alan, look at you, look at Alan again, and Alan will just kind of like shrug his shoulders. It's there if you want it. It's everybody's got to eat. And the creature will slowly walk up. And
I was gonna say, I'll toss it if it looks not comfortable with coming up to me.
It will slowly walk up, and it will like kind of do like a serpentine pattern, making its way up there, and then stop, and he'll sniff the meat, look at you, sniff it again, and then pick up the whole chunk of meat in its mouth. And as you look at this creature, as it opens up its mouth, it's large. Biggest dog for sure you've ever seen in your life. But the scary thing is that you can tell, Vlivra, based off of the fur it has on its body as you look closer, its fur looks a lot softer than it should, and you maybe get the sense that this isn't a fully grown animal. But it picks up the meat and kind of like nods its head at you and like puts its head down, and then turns around and walks and like stops at Alan and also gives a little nod, and then will, with a crack of thunder, jump out and disappear into the night.
I should probably be thankful it ignored the bunny.
Alan will walk up and just say, "Whew, well, that was an experience."
Elko will pull out like a little bit of rope or something to tie up the bunch of fur.
Oh, Alan's already put in a tiny little leather pouch for you.
Oh, perfect. So then she'll just tie the lyre to that then, to the bag.
It's not every day that you get to meet a spirit guardian of a mountain. But apparently that's basically what that thing is. Said it meant no harm to us. It was just curious what we were doing, since we were the first two-legged people it's seen up on this mountain in a long time. And we're two-legged creatures, I suppose.
But just to be clear, it wasn't the stuff I'm drinking that made me see this? It was real.
As real as one could get, as he points at this hair still standing up on his body.
Elka's gonna look at Thaddeus and be like, "How are you still awake?"
It's my turn to be awake.
Looks like you're trying very hard to not be awake. How about you go to sleep and I will finish your watch as well as mine.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay. You will take a point of exhaustion if you decide to do that.
How many extra hours am I losing?
You're losing. You'll get the long rest, but
But I'll take the exhaustion.
But the
I can
exhaust,
take
yeah,
the rest of the watch.
yeah. Zane just fucking ignores everything that's happening and peeks his head out afterwards. So yeah, if you want to take the rest of the watch,
Sleep over here.
I'll do that. I'll take the exhaustion so that Thaddeus can sleep because he's probably gonna pass out anyway, and it's better to have. If only I'm the one exhausted, then it's fine.
Alan will look at all of you who's awake. Gold be damned. We can earn gold some other way. I don't feel comfortable pointing anybody in the right direction to that creature.
Well,
This one
they
agrees.
just wanted information or evidence. Perhaps we found this on a tree on the other side of the mountain.
I like the way you think. Well,
I hate to say this, but as scary as it was magnificent.
it was, and as just a youngin', it said it's
Honestly, don't think mankind could, or our kind could handle and take the responsibility without killing the damn thing.
I tend to agree, and the way it was talking, it said that it was the newest in a generation of protectors of this mountain range, and said that it's still growing and was just worried that we were bad people. So, but seems we convinced it otherwise.
Good
Hopefully, it doesn't come across any actual bad people.
thing Ori was still sleeping.
Right.
I rolled a higher or low to see if he'd wake up. But Alan will just kind of look at all you. Well, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Anyways, and he will tuck back into the tent. But second watch goes by. The rest of the second watch goes by without much issue, Elka.
All right.
But now, can I have you roll a perception check?
Yeah. Is there a place for me to put exhaustion on my?
Conditions.
I will insist that you sleep when I take third watch.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you could avoid the exhaustion that way.
Yeah. Yep.
I rolled a 9. Doing great. I didn't roll a 2 at least.
You are quite tired.
I heard that.
You look out and you, Weaver, at this point, you can roll a perception check as well.
There we go.
Weaver
That didn't suck.
gestures you to go to sleep. And if you want to, you can.
I will not argue.
Okay. But Weaver, are you gonna go? Are you gonna go scavenge for any sort of mountainside veggies? Or are you gonna? Or
I am just gonna make breakfast with what I have. And since I'm the only one taking watch is priority. So
Okay.
the food probably won't be as good this morning. But
you can roll roll d20 with disadvantage
I can help him look for stuff.
for breakfast. For brekkie. Well,
that's I don't think that's worked the way I thought it did. No, it just took the one. So,
Oh, gotcha. Not bad.
14.
It doesn't gain any. It's the threshold is 15, so it doesn't gain any temporary hit points. But
Doesn't suck.
but it's quite good. And with Zane waking up earlier to help you find any veggies or any mountainside things. I mean, we'll just say because you both are awake. You can't quite find any vegetables. However, you do find some mountainside cave dwelling mushrooms that are you immediately check to see if they're poisonous, and with your ability to sniff out poison specifically in food, it's pretty easy. And you find out that these are edible, and they kind of look like
If there's any sort of doubt, I will ritual cast Purify Food and Drink on them.
yeah, I mean, if you want to just make that a staple.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, ritually casting that is perfectly fine. So, yeah, you ritually cast that, and everything's fine. They kind of look like they're tiny little gold mushrooms, and they're quite easy to cut, quite easy to cook, and they smell amazing when you cook them. With a 14 in cooking, you did quite well for breakfast, and all of you wake up for a nice mushroom-based breakfast. And
Yeah, I have some mushrooms.
But the rest of the day is yours. We will. I'm gonna say we're getting close to where I want to end it, but let's just say for the third day of travel, maybe get you guys to. We'll see if anything interrupts you on your last bit of travel to Elican. Ori, with the survival check. Man, he's rolling great tonight. That's the 19. Okay. Ori guides you up eventually becomes a single file line mountain path. And eventually you do make it up to what seems to be a plateau. About 3 hours into the journey, and as you make it up to this plateau along this cliffside, you look down into what looks to be it looks like a town. Vivra, it's a good 2 miles still away, but you can see it down what looks to be sitting in a bowl of like a valley, a bowl of a valley in this mountain range. With your eyesight and with Alan's eyesight, you both can kind of see that the town might not be a town anymore. You do see rubble, and you do see it's hard to tell. You do see what look like structures, but you can't see any people from up here. But you continue on. I'm gonna need one of you to make a perception check, or anybody wants to make a perception check.
That's fine.
Crushed it.
You do notice, walking along the path at this point, it does widen as you start to descend. You do notice a graveyard that looks to be a roadside grave that was dug long time ago.
Just a single grave or a...
It's what you can see is with the 28, yeah. As you walk up, you immediately glance. This is a graveyard or a grave of 13 individuals. And all of them are kind of unmarked. They all have markings, but no names on them. And as you look closer, you read Draconic, right, Weaver?
I do.
You see written in Draconic initials on each and one of these little pieces of wood that have been used as grave markers. And you see one that says RS. You see one that says SS. You see one that says TS. And as you go along, every single last initial ends with S except for one. And it ends in a the last one is a AZ. And either a bunch of people have last names that start with S, or this is a family. And why it's written in Draconic, who knows? But it's just a roadside grave that seems to be a memorial of some sort. And these graves are old. Probably every bit of 20 to 30 years old, if not more.
Okay.
But you continue on unless you want to do anything at the graves.
I'm assuming none of the initials have any meaning.
You don't recognize. You only recognize it as Draconic, and you recognize as the graves are old. That's about it.
Yep. I will relay that information to everybody else, and that'll be it as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. As you walk along closer, all of you smell a aroma of like mildew, stale water smells, and as you get closer to what you see now in full view is a town. You start to see what looks to be almost like a lake that isn't quite that shouldn't be a lake, and you see like flowing water coming off of this lake, almost like in small streams, but the water just smells like it's been sitting for a while. And as you get closer to this town, you notice surrounding the town is a stone wall, probably 10 feet tall. Nothing too large, just enough to keep a barrier out of wild animals, bandits maybe. You notice that this wall is decrepit and not taken care of. The town has no gate. It's just an open, it just goes straight in via the road. You do smell coal, like a unburnt coal smell. And you do kind of look around, and you do get the sense that this was a mining town. You do see mine shafts that are closed off. You do see another handful of graves outside of the wall. 5 or 6 graves that are all unmarked. All you see is the mounds dug into the dirt, and the small little markers that were used. As you approach, are you just walking up, or are you attempting to be quiet about it?
I feel like we would just be walking up like we were
I was
going to
gonna
a
say.
normal town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a little caution, considering it seems like it's a ghost town.
You can very clearly tell that Dennis is spooked. The donkey.
Oh, well, it's okay, Dennis.
He just doesn't quite like the atmosphere. And as you look up at the skies, it's no longer raining. However, you do hear thunder still kind of echoing through the clouds. And you walk into the town, and I guess I'll show you what you see. Coming in from the southern road here. you see a town in ruin. How long the town's been in ruin, it's hard to tell. But you start to take a gander around. I'm gonna say, who would it be in this? Let's go with Alara and Vlivra and Alan, being that all three of you are druids. This will be probably the last roll of the night. Make a Arcana check.
Wow.
Lamb.
Take it.
Nice.
That's a 19 for Alan.
Yeah, but Weaver got a nat 20.
Yeah.
I don't need a 19.
Weavra.
This is where I spike my die and do a touchdown dance.
Weavra, you feel, as a druid, you're very tuned with the natural order of things. You don't feel any life here. You look around. Plants have started to overgrow the houses. But those plants aren't natural. They're almost necrotic. Alan also would feel with his roll, which is a 28 total. He would immediately notice bones, skulls, and skeletons that are thrown all about, spread about. You all start to notice weapons that are rusted. Some of them rusted with blood. With Ori leading the pack, and I guess Zane also kind of being up there with him. You don't hear anything. However, you do. All of you start to see a little bit of swaying, unnatural swaying of all the vines and tree branches. As creepy as this place is, and as dead as this place feels, you can't help but feel you're being watched. As Ori steps forward to kind of take a look around, Vlivra, standing in the back, you notice a skeleton hand crawling on the ground towards him very quietly. And you notice it grab Ori's ankle. And Ori immediately reacts and kind of kicks it off, and he's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" This will be the last roll. Make a perception check, Vlivra.
Good boy.
21.
All right.
As you walk into this town, behind your shoulder, off to the right, in front of you, behind you, you start to look, and where you couldn't see them at first, a charge of arcane energy hits your face, and a bit of clarity hits you. For the natural 20 on your Arcana check, you start to see sets of eyes, glowing eyes, all around. And as you look closer, you see 10, 30, 70, 100 skeletons just wandering through the city quietly, not making a noise. Some of them stopping and staring, none of them making an action towards you. And as Ori kicks off the hand, this skeletized hand off of his leg, he goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" As it hits the ground, you notice every single skeleton that is wandering through the town stop and slowly look at all of you.
Oh boy.
That's where we're on tonight's session.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Yeehaw.
We're gonna die.
It's getting spooky, bitches.
I
It's
have a way-
Halloween.
It is Halloween, and I haven't had time to write a one-shot, so...
Do any of us have candy?
No, but I have
No.
a way that we might survive this.
If we had candy and could give them candy, would that calm them?
Only if they said trick or treat.
Listen, I have MILF's minute meteors. We're good. I'll just nuke the whole
Milfs.
place.
I have a wall
Milf.
of fire
No.
scroll. I could try to
No.
stop them coming through.
You also have a few scrolls of spirit guardians that you were given by Yep. That I should
I have
remind
that?
you. Yep. You and
I don't
Zane
remember
were
that.
given scrolls. A
I
few
have
scrolls.
the scrolls, but that's not one of them that I got.
Yeah, there's 2 scrolls of spirit guardians. I have it written down.
To me?
To the whole party. It was you, Alan, and Elka inside his
Well, I
shop.
think I took the scroll of
We all
Wall of
got
Fire
2?
and Windwalk.
I don't remember getting this.
I do. I have it written
I
down in my
feel-
notes.
Remember that?
Okay, well, I feel like.
I mean, if you don't want them, you don't need them.
No, I'll take them, but like,
I'll let Elka have those two because I know I got a scroll of Wall of Fire and Windwalk, but I didn't remember getting Spirit Guardian ones. So
Yep, two scrolls of spirit guardians. Written in my notes.
all right, they're in my inventory now.
okay, Elka has them. Thanks
Okay,
for the 3 days of travel, so I now have 8 total alchemy jugs.
excellent. You're
On
welcome.
that note, I've had a long ass day today, so I'm gonna call it a night,
Alrighty.
and I'll catch y'all next week.
All right, sounds good,
Bye.
buddy.
Yeah, same here. I'll talk to y'all later.
All
Same.
right, bye.
See ya.
I'll be back.
I am going to hop at it.
All right, friends, that's where we're gonna end there. All of a sudden, the Lich King shows up. How do you read my mind? No, I did have a plan for a Halloween sequel to the Halloween one shot that I did last year, which was the night before Halloween, Jack Skellington, like Nightmare Before Christmas type one shot, but I have had absolutely zero time to do any sort of creation for that. So I don't think we're not going to run any one shot this year for Halloween. Maybe we'll do one for Christmas as a sequel of that. Maybe we'll do a Christmas one shot, which should be fun. But yeah, that's unfortunately the Halloween one is not going to happen probably. So yeah, that was a blast. I believe Halloween lands. Yeah, Halloween lands on Tuesday. How about Christmas? Christmas lands on a Monday. So Christmas Eve, if nobody has anything going on, I think we might actually do a Christmas one shot. So that might be fun. Yeah, I mean, hey, like life happens, and I'm all about that. Like last week, I like it was Sunday morning. I woke up and I felt like death. I could not move my head off my pillow. It was bad. So that's why last week we didn't have an episode. But and it's also why I haven't done any sort of Baldur's Gate 3 editing at all. Like my computer time has been limited to literally like the necessities for work. So yeah, I appreciate it. It was I don't know what it was. I think it was probably just like I get bad fall allergies, so I'm assuming it was that had partially to do with it, but I'm guessing it was probably like just a cold because I was over it in like 4 days. So it wasn't like deathbed COVID style sickness. It was just ickiness. So, and the one thing that I felt was just like head heavy. So, yeah, but I'm fine now. Everything's good. We'll be back next week, Sunday, to pick up this the story and see where the rat bastards go with it. Hopefully, we'll have everybody with us and ready to go. And hopefully they'll survive the next branch of the story, because I'm very excited about what comes next. I've been working a lot on everything, so I'm excited. But anyways, Corgan, my friend, thank you for watching as always, and everybody else that hopped in here and hung out. I appreciate it. We'll be back next Sunday. If you missed any part of tonight's episode, you can go watch it tomorrow on our YouTube channel, where I'll be posting the full upload by 5:30 tomorrow Eastern time. So you want to go check that out. And if you want to catch up with our story, and if you're new to the story, and this is your first time being here, the link will be down in the title, or I guess in the cards, if you want to go to our YouTube channel and catch up with the story. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching, and I will catch all of you next week. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful weekend. And if you have off tomorrow, have a wonderful day off. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Bye.